let's just jump. Let's finish off with the McDavid, and then because we have time to talk about the Leafs. They're playing later, the Calgary later this week, so we can touch on them a little bit later on in the week. But I think the internet broke when Connor McDavid scored the goal that Edmonton Oilers fans were celebrating. I mean, it was an exciting goal. A lot of people were really happy about it, except Daryl Sutter, who said it was a one-on-one play, not one-on-four. Three players were standing all over the place there. Um, it's I wonder if we look. I don't know how to word this. I think it was a great. It's a great goal. I don't, but I think this is. It's a. I feel like there was a little bit of overreaction on this. I'll leave. I'll
Oh,
let you guys talk
oh,
this.
well, that's the world we live in now. Everybody, is prone to recency bias and kind of quickly forgets the past. So yeah, obviously there's that wow factor and a bit of overreacting to it. I mean, anytime somebody goes 1-on-4 through the team and scores, it's going to get a lot of attention. But um, uh, where do you put that goal in the context of all NHL scoring? I mean, people say, is that the greatest goal he's ever scored? Uh, Perhaps. But then again, for me, how do you define greatest? Greatest in terms of the circumstances and how meaningful the goal was, or is that just on pure ability? I mean, on pure ability, yeah, I think there's an argument to be made that, for McDavid, is probably one of the best he's ever scored, if not the best, and one of the best we've seen in the NHL in a very long time. But as far as greatest goals, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other ones that I would put ahead of that one. And we had this discussion amongst ourselves here a few days ago. I mean, just think of a couple of Mario Lemieux's goals that appear on the TSN top 10 lists all the time. I mean, those are playoff goals, big goals. Um, we need to see McDavid do something like that in the postseason before we put that near the top of the list of greatest goals we've ever seen in the National Hockey League, I think.
As good as that goal was, I still like that his goal versus the Leafs where he absolutely undressed Morgan Riley.
Yeah.
1-on-1. Better. I just think it's more spectacular.
Probably more difficult to pull off, if you can believe that.
But the one thing is what both those the goal against the Leafs and that goal a couple days ago show off is his 1 to 2 step acceleration is just there's no one can touch him. No one can touch him in terms of getting to full speed in like 1 to 2 to 3 steps. Like you watch that. Go and watch that goal and go and watch where the one versus the Leafs. Because it's literally he's going slow, he sees an opportunity, and he's gone. That's what makes him so special.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with
speed, yeah.
I was talking with our friend Graham Moseman about this, and he's like, he's the best player of all time. I'm like, well, that's such a loaded. But what I will say is I'm willing to say that he's the best skater that's ever played the game. His ability to play at speed and make that speed a weapon. The only player who comes close to it that I've watched personally is Pavel Bure.
I was going to say the exact same name. Outside of Bure, I'm not sure if there's anyone else who comes close to that explosive speed.
Speed and the hands to keep up with.
Yeah, the hands with it. Yeah.
Bobby Orr.
Like I said, I've watched personally. Mm-hmm. I've seen Bobby. I've seen the highlights of Bobby Orr, and everyone knows who watches this and knows how highly I have Bobby Orr in there. But in terms of like just pure speed and everything, he is the best. And that's just if Bobby Orr had access to today's training and medicine and everything, I think we could have that conversation. I think I think he's probably better when you take into all that account, because let's remember, Bobby was playing in the 70s where you showed up to camp after smoking darts for the whole summer, got into shape, and then you were good. You have to show up.
40s.
There was no off-season conditioning program. You showed up to the training camp to get in shape.
It's a completely different animal. It's a completely different era. Like, and you look at how the players skate now, in terms of you could probably compare him to the way Bobby Orr skated. You're probably looking at third, fourth liners who probably skated who are probably skating as just as good a level as Bobby Orr did. Now, comparable to where Bobby Orr and McDavid are compared to their peers, that's a completely different one. But in terms of who I've watched, it's McDavid and Bure that have no one's come close to their ability to be absolutely game breaking with their speed and the fact that their hands can keep up with them.